Hi everyone, I am Tanya Buxani and I'm the Community Director of the Outpost Republic. So I'd like to welcome you to the OR, where we will be having conversations with members of our community so that we can share ideas and learn from one another. In this series, we'll be showcasing women in business. So I would like to introduce to you two special ladies that are here with us today, Gertraud Eregger and Chen Banjo, who are both professional coaches. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having us today.
Hi everyone. Thanks for having us.
So these two ladies, they're going to be sharing with us their journey and explaining to us how learning certain concepts and applying them to their lives really gave them the courage to move forward, growing as women in both their personal and professional lives.
Hi, my name is Chen Banjo, and I'm so excited to be here today. I am the founder of Chen Banjo Coaching. My husband, my two kids, and I have spent the past 6 years in the UK, and we've just moved to Jamaica about a year ago. And when we were in the UK, my husband got an email from a recruiter saying, "Would you like to work in Jamaica?" And we both looked at each other and said, "What? Jamaica?" And little did we know that 6 months after that we would be in Kingston and having made a huge transition with our family of 4. And we really saw it as an opportunity to start afresh and to really plant ourselves in a new place and to start to carve out a new life for ourselves. So we've just been loving Jamaica.
My name is Gertraud Eregger. I'm born and raised in Austria. The last 6 years have been a roller coaster ride for our lives. 2 years ago we came to Jamaica and this place literally changed our lives. I became a mom here. We got married during this time. Became a certified coach, picked up my career for a global HR consultancy, and I feel kind of like sharing my story today and sharing how I overcame challenges over kind of like this ride of motherhood and this ride of picking up my career, this ride of starting a business. I feel very honored to share with you the story.
Thank you, thanks. So I would love to, get a little more insight into the career journey.
So when I was younger, I started out in government contracting in kind of the program management world in DC, and I really learned a lot of skills and being able to take a lot of complex information and distilling it into simple and easy ways to understand things. And then when I went to London, I then worked in an education nonprofit, which then kind of got closer a little bit to more who I thought I was, just being in a space where I had a very close line of sight to the impact that it was then making on the ground. And that voice inside of me, even when I was doing that, along the way, there was still something that was missing. So kind of fast forward on our journey from the UK back to Jamaica, this is where I got certified as a coach. And I think the culmination, a lot of my background and skills. Like when I was growing up, people were like, "What are your skills?" And I'm not someone who grew up being very skilled at math or science. And it was always really listening, being able to create a space and being able to reflect back to others. And when I found out there was coaching, my mind was blown.
When reflecting back, I've been dreaming as a little girl all my life to live abroad. I studied every book on children living somewhere else. I got every travel magazine. I begged my parents to go to boarding school or study abroad. So this was always my dream. And I also saw my father he was very supportive in supporting refugees in Austria at that time. So kind of like I always saw the power of connecting people and how can you make an impact if you're somewhere else. So I studied tourism, I studied HR, I ended in HR. Yes. So right now, looking back, I have kind of like a decade of experience in finding the right talent, finding the right leader into an organization. So there is always this power of connection and how to fit the person with the organization so they both make the impact they always wanted.
What was some of the most defining or influential moments in your life that has shaped you into what you are today?
The very, very defining moment for me, and it wasn't necessarily like one lightning bulb aha moment, but slowly as life progressed, one of the things that I realized, and someone that I really, really admire and respect, is Brene Brown. She is a shame and vulnerability researcher, and the way she defines fitting in is that fitting in is actually the opposite of true belonging. That fitting in is coming from this place of assessing and acclimating and trying to figure out which parts of you are okay to show to the world, whereas belonging requires you to be who you are completely and wholly. And I think that that was a challenge to me to say, all right, if I truly want to belong and feel like a part of something, I need to be courageous and brave to actually step out into the world and allow the world to see me for all that I am.
For me, kind of like very influential period was really when I became a mother. I feel that was a transition to really see, to really first like really see and feel like this ultimate love for a new baby, and kind of like going through all this roller coaster of emotions, and then later on really asking yourself like, okay, how to juggle it all, how to make this impact as a mom, but also as a woman in business. It really shaped me. It was one of the most challenging years, but it was really other expats, and especially expert women in leadership roles, who really lifted me up and who really inspired me to go for any opportunity out there.
So, we're here now, you know, you guys are women in business. We want to know a little bit more, like what exactly are you doing, you know, in your professional coaching? What's your area of expertise?
Yeah. So I call myself a confidence coach that works with women in transition. So whether you are a woman who has taken a break from her career due to raising children, or you are a woman who has made an international move as an expat partner, and you're really at this place where you're a little bit lost, you've kind of lost your sense of self a little bit. And we work with mothers to really build that internal compass that helps them navigate like the really treacherous and ambiguous waters that transition and change often bring. And so, you know, I love, like, advice is great, all of those how-tos, you know, 10 steps to do XYZ, like those are great, but oftentimes those are for more, those pieces of advice are generic, and it doesn't necessarily fit everyone's journey. So we really, really work around kind of honing and sharpening that internal compass and that internal ability to kind of navigate what do you really want, what are you looking for, and kind of be able to then come at it from a place of sustainable confidence to then be able to do it. What I would love to do is just to be able to create this space and kind of make more mainstream some of the tools and the approaches around coaching that really kind of provoke some of this conversation to say, hey, you know what, this is what has been happening in life, and this is the trajectory and path you've been on. Where do you actually want to go, and what if things could be different? And just to kind of challenge that a little bit and see where that takes people. Because I often find that when unchallenged, we tend to just tick along in life. And so that's the vision that I have for the impact that could happen in Jamaica.
Amazing. Great. So you want to create more conversations based on that.
Yes.
And bring people together so that they can share and talk about it.
Yes.
So this is a great space for you to do it. So I know you did a small workshop. Perhaps you need to go for a larger audience that would love to have those conversations.
When I see women taking conscious choices and really seeing, okay, what's draining them, what's energizing them, what's the one thing I can get back to my life that really will infuse my energy level and will kind of like help me connect to my family, to my boss, to my team, to my bigger vision I have. This is where we see the impact happening. This is where we see, wow, this woman is inspiring her team and inspires so many more. So that's kind of like the core of my work as coach in women leadership. And mostly I work with expert women on assignment. This is why my company is called Expert Woman, Leading Expert Woman on Assignment. But of course, I get a question now in Jamaica many more times, like, hey, I struggle with the same, I struggle with that balance. I struggle to create this vision I really want to have. in my role in the organization. I struggle with career themes, so this is where my HR hat comes into place.
Yes.
So of course I'm very excited to work with women who have a vision and kind of like look for the dots how to get there. And then also for women who are very genuine and say, hey, I really struggle, like I have too much on my plate, help me to clean that up, help me to get laser focused again. So this is where I immediately tie in and say, hey, I'm your ally. And of course you can use all my skills. You can use me as your HR consultant, your private HR person. You can use me as your kind of like power connector, you know, to really see, okay, how to connect to your people around you. So I call myself a portfolio entrepreneur.
Yes. So, as a woman in business, let's summarize a bit. You know, what is the main thing, you know, that you would like our viewers to walk away with today?
So yeah, I think the message that's really, really near and dear to my heart that I'd love to share with our viewers today is this phrase that I always think about, which is do it scared. I think there's this idea that, you know, in order to do big and new and scary things or inspirational things, you have to get to a place where you have already conquered your fears. And I think oftentimes we look at people and we say, doing these things, and we say, wow, they must have learned how to overcome their fears. And my message today is that we are all scared, and you don't need to overcome your fears. We just find a way to repurpose your fears so that, like in the driving metaphor, instead of fear being in the driver's seat, kind of driving your life and making the decision, we kick it to the back seat and saying, all right, we know you're gonna be there. We know that fear sometimes comes as a way to try to protect us, but hey, you don't have a say anymore. You don't have a voice anymore. So get in the back seat. I am driving and I make my decisions based on what I want to do and the impact that I want to see, not based on what my fear is telling me. So I think it just releases a lot of that pressure of having to like overcome your fears, because I think that fear is always going to be there. If we figure out a way to repurpose it and demote fear in our lives, then we can continue to do the things that we're meant to do and do it while we're scared.
So my message is, especially for women in business, there is never a right time. When you want to be the next CEO of the company and you want to be the first woman and really raise the narrative in your organization, you have it in your mind to go there step by step, whatever comes along the way. But there will never be the right time to start something. There will be always 1,000 reasons maybe why not right now is not the right time. So I see a lot of women questioning, you know, timing, when is the right time, and overthinking a lot versus just following their heart. And the minute we really align, okay, my heart says yes, my head says yes, let's go there, you will find your own pace to make it happen. And you don't have to be there in a year or in 2 years. You have more time, so relax a bit and slow it down a bit. So I feel that's kind of like my message to women out there. So really kind of like taking it at your own pace, but not putting it aside, not saying, oh, I'm gonna do it, I'm starting it in 10 years when my kids are like older.
Yes.
That's kind of like, wow, you really push it too far. So kind of like be connected to what you really want and then take it step by step there.
So I wanted to thank my wonderful guests for coming today, Stephanie and Gertraud. You have been a great part of our community, and you know, we are really excited for the future, you know, what the future brings with us. And we look forward to seeing the impact that both these lovely ladies make on other women in business. So I hope everyone has enjoyed this conversation as much as I have. And we would love to hear from you what you have gained from this. I'm Tanya Buxani, and this is the OR.